Hey everybody, welcome back to a Sports Hub. I'm Grant Boziacki.
I'm Ryan Edwards.
We got a lot of basketball coming up. We just went to some games this past week, got some more games coming up this weekend. Ryan started us off though with not an actual game, but something that was pretty significant.
There was a major achievement over the weekend. John Miller, the head coach at Southern Valley, notched his 700th win. I think he is the winningest coach in all time in Nebraska basketball history, or one of the most winningest coaches of all time. But the one weird thing about it is that 3 of his kids have been involved in his 500th and 600th win. His daughter Randy was involved in the 500th win. His oldest son, Ross, was involved in his 600th win, and his son, Seth Miller, his youngest son, was involved for his 700th. So it's kind of a neat thing when you can have your kids be a part of that. And actually, Seth provided some of the firepower in that game, scoring 13 points on Friday.
Very cool. Well, moving on. Last week, I finally had the opportunity to see the Elm Creek girls. They're having just a fantastic season. They're 12-2, and I was blown away with the play of Claire Cornell, their sophomore star. Really, she's averaging 15 points per game, 10 rebounds, and just the basketball IQ she has on the floor is second to none. And only being a sophomore, she has a very, very high potential, and is going to do great things.
She's a very good player. I had a chance to see her early in the season. When they played SEM, she was lights out in that game, and her scoring partner, Kenzie Dale, had a big game too that night. They are a very good team at the D1 level, so if they keep on playing the way they do, it could be a good season for them.
And then the Elm Creek boys, moving on to the boys' side, they're only 6-7 on the year. They started off really slow, but they've actually won 3 of their last 4. And LaShawn Thornbar, he had a very good game this past week. They upset Kennesaw, who's actually 12-2, so pretty big upset there. And LaShawn Thornbar, he had 10 points, 16 rebounds. He had a big game. Brock Miner, he's having a good season for Elm Creek. He's scored double digits, I want to say, the last 8 games. He only averaged 6 points per game last year. He's increased that to nearly 15 this year. So Brock Miner is having a very good year. Scored double digits in 8 straight games. I'd say that he's been doing good. He's been doing good.
Yeah, they have. They started out of the gates really slow. They lost to some teams that they shouldn't have lost to, but I think they're finally getting into that rhythm of what they need to do and how they need to play the game. And if they continue to play well, they could be a dark horse when it comes to sub-districts and district play.
Another team I wanted to mention that is, playing well lately is the Wilcox Hildreth boys, especially the duo they have with Matthew Heinrichs and Caleb Springer. They've been double-double machines lately. I know their last 2 games over the weekend, they both notched double-doubles. Matthew Heinrichs, he had 14 rebounds in each of their games. One was a win, one was a loss. But they have a very big game tonight. It's against Axtell. So excited to see what happens in that game.
Yeah, and then over the weekend, too, we had Kearney Catholic play the number 3 team in Class C2 in Hastings St. Cecilia. Grant was at the game. They lost by 1, and it wasn't their best game that they played all year.
Yeah, the offense did not show up in the second half. Coach Petrie was disappointed because they scored 28 points in the first half. They scored just 7 points in the third quarter, 6 points in the fourth quarter. That wasn't going to get the job done. So hopefully it's a little bit of a wake-up call that they really aren't invincible.
Yeah, and they went back on the road on Tuesday and beat a struggling Donovan Trumbull team by 42 points. Kylie Teal had a big night. She had 24 points. And what Petrie told me when I talked to him was that he told Kylie to start attacking the basket more, because I believe in the game against Hastings St. Cecilia, she only scored 4 points. So he told her she needs to be more aggressive, and she went out and responded with a big game on Tuesday.
And that's good to see for sure. Now, I said tonight we have Axtell Will Hill boys going on. I know we have someone going to that game. I'm going to be at the Storm game, so I'm not going to be at any basketball games tonight, but I know. What are you going to be at? I'm going to be at the Carney boys. They take on Lincoln Southwest. Southwest is 5-9 on the season. The boys lost on Saturday to I wouldn't call them a struggling Millard North team, but they didn't play their best basketball. They had a lot of foul trouble, got into a lot of funky stretches throughout the game. They weren't responding when Millard North took control of the game, basically. But Cannon Coster is one player that really stepped up for him big. He scored 23 points on the night, and in his last 8 games, he's shooting 83%
from the two, from the field goal position. He's taking that team to a whole nother level, and just to think that he's a sophomore, he can still grow into a special player in the next 2 years.
And that same night last week, I got to see Skylar Snyder. She had 30 points, really impressive. But Carney, they lost that night, and they struggled that night trying to find a second and third go-to scorers. So let's see later on as the year goes on if they're able to solve that. But, that's really the issue there. Anything else you got?
The one thing that I want to see is I want to go watch Amherst play. We haven't had the chance to. Amherst is an incredible 14-0. They have really...
A lot of blowouts.
A lot of blowouts, yeah. Their average margin of victory, I looked it up the other night, is 42 points a game. And they're averaging 80 points in...
You wonder in state, I don't want to say they are for sure going to state, but if that will come back to bite them, because right now they do need some closer games.
They do, and then you take a look at who's in C2 and who they're going to go up against. You got Winnebago, who is the defending C1 state champions. You got Southern Valley, and Amherst are in the same sub-district, so that will be a good measuring stick to see how they play. Not to mention later in the year they go to Grand Island for to play BDS, so that's going to be a good game. BDS is really good. But Amherst, they're just rolling on they're kicking on all cylinders right now.
All right, I think that's all we got for you this week. We're excited to see what happens in the games tonight and what happens this weekend, and we'll be back next week. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.